Hi, I'm Libby.
And I'm Riley, and welcome to On the Come Up.
You know what I've been thinking about?
What, girl?
You know when you go to those events and you see all of the free stuff that people have when they're tabling, and it's always exciting.
The swag.
Yes, you gotta collect the swag. It's like half the fun of going to the events, right?
Yeah.
So have you ever wondered where those come from? Because obviously, like, you know, if the chamber has stuff, we're not making that in-house. Like, where are we getting that from?
Yeah.
So there's no one better to tell us than our lovely guest today, Kelsey Boyer. Hi, Kelsey.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks so much for being here.
Of course.
We are so excited to talk to you about all of your work and learn more about front door marketing, which is where you work and where a lot of the companies locally get some of their free swag that they hand out. It's awesome.
Big local fans over here.
Yes, we love local.
Kick us off with a little bit of your background. Did you grow up in the area?
Yes, Anthony Wayne is where I went to school. My whole entire family, from like my great grandpa down, went to Anthony Wayne, and then my whole entire family, from my great grandpa to my grandpa to my dad to my brother, all played football at Bowling Green State University. So we also all went to BGSU and are all still local.
That's amazing.
Go Falcons.
I know you guys are truly like the poster family for like keeping it local, which we love.
I mean, how do you beat Toledo?
You really can't.
Yeah.
So, you know, tell us a little bit then too about like as a BG student, talk about what you studied, but then also being so Toledo focused, what was it like with that rivalry with BG?
Well, always a Ziggy. Like, go Toledo, love Toledo, but go a Ziggy.
Yeah.
No, I was a communication major, and I had a minor in management. When I went to college, it was 2020, which kicked off COVID. So I was a COVID college kid, which is a little different navigating everything. It was very like screens. The craziest part was when the mask mandate got lifted and you got to see your classmates' bottom half of their faces.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Wouldn't think that made a big like difference. Oh my gosh, you would never guess what these people looked like. But no, it was a little bit different. The teachers were kind of learning with us as we were all navigating COVID. But I met my current bosses at Front Door Marketing in one of my, I think it was Change in Management was my class. And they came and spoke. This was probably my all-time favorite college class. It was the most like real life college class to like our everyday work world, I guess. And she would bring in local people to come tell us either good or bad change in management. So
interesting.
that was like my boss's story of starting Front Door Marketing. And then listening to them talk, I was like, oh my goodness, this is my type of place. I could get along fitting great here. So I just kind of went up and shook their hand and introduced myself and asked if I could get an internship. And it worked. I'm full-time now.
That's awesome.
So, you know, you started obviously as an intern. So talk about kind of, you know, you have that story, but the work that Front Door does, what drew you to that company and that role? And then walk us through the transition of going from an intern to then a full-time employee.
Oh my goodness. So I will say, as my boss, two bosses were like talking, I had not a clue what Front Door Marketing was. It was totally the people. It was just, I'm like, I'm going to fit in great here. I like their message. I'm chatting my dad on my MacBook at the time. I'm like, I think I need to go introduce myself. He's like, what do they do? I'm like, I don't know. Not a clue. So that was also fun going into this internship and getting to learn more about what it is, which is kind of more, we're called Front Door Marketing. People are always like marketing. It is marketing. We are helping you market your company, but it's kind of sales too, because we need to help get these products in front of you guys, if that makes sense. We're also there to help provide ideas and different ways we can reach your market for you, but it's kind of like us getting you the items, if that makes sense, of the sales perspective, which is what I'm in, of the outside sales and building relations and things like that. My transition from internship to full-time, my boss's favorite thing was I cannot sell and do the outside without knowing the inside. So I got to learn the inside, the ins and outs of everything, and it has truly made me better off in the long run for being in sales.
I love that. That's
Which
awesome.
you said the sales, it's a little bit different than other things. Can we like go a little deeper into that? What kind of, give us like the rundown of your role.
Oh goodness. So I guess, we are the biggest promoters, I guess, of networking. networking, meeting everyone, being in every room at every event. I mean, Riley, you probably get that to a T for Epic.
100%.
Yeah, so my average day, I try to have like a lunch with a client, a coffee with a client, like just getting in front of people. One thing I do love is we get to make these things called spec samples. So we'll get these like for example, I just dropped one off. Supplier reached out to us with like a cooler sample, and I can put a company's logo on it. And then I feel like Santa Claus. Like I just get to bring these free gifts to people, and everyone loves receiving gifts. Like, so it's just so fun when they're like, they feel thought of and like appreciated with this stuff. And yeah, so I don't know.
So then the goal then for you is like, okay, here's this cooler sample. Then you're taking the order.
Hopefully, if they like it, yeah.
Well, it is just interesting because I think when you think of that typical sales role, it's definitely more of like pitching something or selling something or getting sponsorships, stuff like that. But then obviously what Front Door is doing is a little more like tangible, right? In your sales
Personal,
efforts.
tangible, yeah.
Yeah.
Totally.
It's really cool. And, you know, even though your work in the sales industry is kind of different from some of the other ideas that might come across when young professionals think of sales, can you talk a little bit about how that industry as a whole gets kind of a bad rap sometimes among YPs? And, you know, like if you've experienced any of this or if there are misconceptions that you could debunk?
Okay, goodness. My first one I always think of is people call it trinkets and trash. That's
Yeah. Trinkets and trash.
because it is the first to go. So everyone loves the free stuff, but what's the first to get thrown in the trash? I totally get it, totally understand. But it's also the fun part when you get to see people's faces light up of, oh, this is the coolest little gadget. I don't know.
Hey, I got a foam hammer from Mommy Valley Habitat and Humanity, and I still have that thing in my purse. It's hilarious.
Yeah, and I'm a firm believer in like especially this role I'm in now, I just love the people I work with. I love the company as a whole. Like, it truly makes a difference. And when I show up and work every day, like, loving just the environment and the surroundings. And so I guess I'm not really debunking anything here when I say this, but it's totally the environment that makes it for me. So these other sales positions, I don't know if they have bad things to say. Is it a bad fit for them? I can't speak highly enough of what I do in this, so maybe I haven't heard them yet. I don't know.
Or it could just be like your type of sales. Definitely is something that can be game changing for young professionals for sure.
Yeah, and you're talking about loving like the environment that you work in. What kind of work, like projects, do you find to be the most gratifying and rewarding, either in terms of fun or just, you know, where you feel passionate?
One main one. So a lot of my clients seem to be construction focused, and there is a specific week for just women in construction, and you would just be so surprised. I don't want to say how left out they are in construction, but like it was groundbreaking for them to get like work pants that fit women's sizes.
Yeah.
Like, because it's just not like as brought to the public eye, I guess, of like women working in construction. So a lot of the construction companies will reach out and get like little personal stuff for their females that work for them. One of my favorite things that has been branded, and you guys can laugh, was a nail file. And there's one in my purse right now of this exact brand. It has come in handy every time. You never know when you need a nail file.
That. I have a branded nail file in my bag too.
It probably is just the most absurd thing you guys have heard, but you just never know. And we try to sell them to like I don't want to say like just directly to females, but like even our office is female heavy. And every time we're like, man, where's that, like one of those nail files when we need it?
Right. Well, and that's awesome because then you can make something that's also marketing, but, you know, really useful too at the same time. So it's trinkets and trash and like a mystery third option where it's like something that's useful.
Absolutely.
And talk to me a little bit about, in your experience, you know, when you talk to most young professionals about going into their careers, they often will go based on the company or the industry, but you chose your company based on the people. And I really want you to talk about like how that could potentially change the game for young professionals in terms of if they're introducing themselves to people or if they just meet somebody that sparks a career they didn't know that they would want.
I think it never hurts to shake someone's hand, say hi, compliment someone. Like, you just never know what door that's going to open. And I know that can be uncomfortable to some people. I'm the type of person that could go talk to a wall, so it made no difference to me. But just taking that one step outside of your like comfort zone to do something like that, I mean, you could open a whole variety of doors you didn't even know. And I'm really a big advocate for like you have to be uncomfortable to grow, and it helps you learn all this stuff that you would never even know about yourself, about the industries, your environment, all the above. Like, I just think taking the risk and taking the chance pays off so much in the long run. And another thing I always think of too is like, so you get rejected, so you hear the word no, like it just leads to the next opportunity.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely the mindset you have to carry in sales for sure. Yeah. I love it. So you and I both sit on the advisory board for Epic. Tell us a little bit about how you got involved with that and the membership component as well.
Okay, so we were just laughing about this the other day. Allie Bailey, who also sits on the board with us, she was at lunch with Madison Decatur, and I told Allie one day, I really want to meet Madison. And Madison told Allie, like, I really need to meet Kelsey. And then so Allie connected it, and it all happened. I was also at the same place. They were having lunch, but didn't even know it. And then Madison, when my name got brought up, goes, "Oh, you didn't see her sitting over there?"
Wow.
Yeah.
That's kismet.
Right?
Yeah.
So Allie got us hooked up. Madison brought it up. And then I think Madison introduced me to you, Riley. And it kind of all worked out from there. And I have loved every second of it. It is so cool. I know I'm 24, so I guess a young professional, but it's also so cool to see these other people show up to these events, and then you get to watch them just like a flower bloom, of finding 100%. These opportunities, jobs, whatever that. There's so much at these events that are more than just like, I'm looking for a job, I'm looking for you could be looking for friends. You could it's everything's there. Yeah. And that's what I love about doing all these events. I have now do the membership chair with Riley, kind of helped out today. We had our first meeting. But it's just trying to retain the people and find new people. I think especially with this younger generation and getting out there and networking, it seems to be harder for them. So my main goal, I guess, is to make this as friendly and opening, and I'm ready to help as possible. But
yeah, and on the membership component, I'm curious to know your perspective on if there are any key points you're seeing with engagement or lack thereof from these young professionals. I mean, we were talking a lot about how people just don't really want to leave their house. So I'm wondering from your perspective what you're noticing with young professional engagement.
Absolutely. Trying to get people to come out has been one of the main goals of ours. But I was just talking about the other day, I think the coolest thing ever we could do with Epic 2 would be like a soft skills clinic, just to kind of help give some of these people who have so much social anxiety to come out and do this, like icebreakers, something to make them, I think once they realize that it doesn't have to be purely work related, it could be friend related, it could be all these other things. I feel like that takes a lot of pressure off of things, but it's also getting the word out to these people that we're here for whatever you need us to be here for.
So outside of Epic, you're passionate about volunteering in the community with groups like the Lucas County Pit Crew. Can you talk to us a little bit about the kind of work that you do with that work and others, and kind of why it's rewarding for you?
Yeah, when I was volunteering with Lucas County Pit Crew, my family are big advocates for adopt, don't shop. We now have 4 rescue dogs. I have my own rescue dog, but I found her, the one I rescued, because I was going on all these walks, and I'm like, I could be walking a dog that is stuck in its kennel. I would go walk 4 miles by myself, and I'm like, there's someone else. I could be doing something that could help contribute to this. So I got involved with Lucas County Pit Crew, and that I would just show up an hour a week, and I got to walk dogs that didn't have a home and just get them out of their kennel and give them some loving for an hour. But it was really rewarding, and volunteering with people and stuff, totally rewarding, but these dogs don't have advocates for themselves. So I have a big passion for rescuing. I say rescuing cats too. I'm just not much of a cat person. I'm allergic, unfortunately. But rescuing these animals and giving them a voice, I guess.
That's really awesome.
And, your passion for professional development extends beyond Front Door, Epic, your other volunteer opportunities, with your involvement with Leadership Toledo. So you were a part of the Leadership Toledo signature program, class of 25, and you cite that as a huge influence in your advancement in the Toledo community. So tell us about your experience, and then what people can expect to get out of a program like that.
Oh my gosh. It was just the best thing ever. I can't even put into words or speak highly enough of Leadership Toledo. It was, for starting out in Toledo, they kind of force you to network, but then these people, you're stuck with them for a year. So like you meet one day out of the month for an entire year, and you just have to you learn so much about Toledo, but you just do all this stuff. And they become like when our last day of Leadership Toledo, I was like, wait, I don't get to see you guys next month? I don't get to see my friends anymore? Like, what's going on? So I've kept all my relations up with them, all the people I got to meet. But it truly was like, we joke, forced networking into forced but now chosen friendships, because you learned so much. Every day that we did one of these like Leadership Toledo days was a new thing about, I shouldn't say new, but learning a new thing about Toledo. And it could be as little as, which not little, but the art museum, like major, ranked #1 in the country, not little. But everyone knows Toledo Art Museum, but then you go do this stuff and it's like, oh my gosh, I didn't know this. Or I think we did Tapa. I had no clue what Tapa was. And then it's like this world renowned like place and all this stuff, all these like talents of these people, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like I just had no clue half of this stuff in Toledo even went on until it was like shown to me, and I just can't stop talking about it now. Like it's my favorite thing is to talk about Leadership Toledo.
No, and I love that. And I think that's obviously one of the reasons why we wanted you to come on the show today is because you are someone who started out not really knowing all of the things that were going on in your own hometown, but then you've quickly become such an ambassador for all of the different things that happen here. And the way that you are really present in all these different rooms and with all these different organizations. I mean, it truly is a testament to the importance of getting your face and your name out there in the community to keep working hard at making those connections.
I always laugh when I first started off. I was talking to my boss, and he was going, I told him about all these events I had. I thought it was the busiest week ever, and he's like, go do it 400 more times this year. And then this, and then, and you just keep, and slowly you just watch your schedule just pile up. But it's still amazing stuff that you can be, even back to, I guess, the volunteering, but like, there's just, I don't like sit down, like, free time. I have to be doing something. And that's where I was like, volunteering, Leadership, like all this extra stuff to take up my time. I was like, write my name, sign me up. I'm here for it.
And that's very, very true that you don't have a lot of free time. But in the free time that you do have, you absolutely are passionate about health, wellness, maintaining an active lifestyle. I know you fish. I know you play some local sports. But you had a pretty debilitating surgery at the end of 2025 that kind of put a pause on that lifestyle for you. So can you talk about why you love being active so much, a little bit about your surgery, and then just kind of how you've had to adapt your own lifestyle since then?
So I played sports in high school, and that was great. Whatever, went to college, was so excited to not play sports in college. Then I ended up living with some Bowling Green women's soccer athletes and then Bowling Green volleyball players. And I got to watch them compete every single day. And I was like, whoa, I miss that. Yeah. I miss competing. And maybe that's how I found sales too. I don't know. But I missed it so much. I got right back into like staying active. I love finding like farmers markets, like fresh foods. Oh, they're both my favorite two things. I come from a pretty athletic family too, so we're all competitive in our own nature. And then it abruptly stopped when I accidentally was cutting a watermelon and dropped a knife on my foot. And, yes, I could not move my 4 little baby toes. And that, however, with my busy lifestyle, wasn't really top priority. This was in July. So I didn't go get that fixed till November. And then by that time, I needed surgery. And they had to put 5 inches of a cadaver tendon in my foot because my tendon was gone, like not working anymore. So that was November to January. It worked out in my favor because by the time they got me in for surgery quick, but November to January was the holiday season. So at least work was slowly like, I don't want to say dying down, but it was just the end of the year, holidays, people were busy, got me in for the new year, got me fixed up. And then I think mid-January I was cleared again, back to doing all my active stuff. And I took on a pickleball league at the new Toledo pickle place, which I have never played pickleball once in my life. It was so fun. I don't think they like to be my partner because I've only played once, but I have a good time.
And so now, obviously, after a couple months of going stir crazy in your home and then getting back into the aforementioned pickleball league, you're back in action. So you're all good to go. You're cleared from the doctors, right?
Oh, yeah. I feel like I'm running in every which direction now.
Yeah,
Good.
which, I mean, we've heard you talk a few different times now about the importance of networking and putting yourself out there and getting out of the house, which I think, I mean, we said it can be really hard. So can you talk about, how being able to put yourself out there has impacted your life, and if you have any other tips for people feeling the same?
Gosh. I mean, like I kind of hinted at it earlier, but I mean, you go out to these networking events, right? Well, everyone's there to do the same thing.
Yeah.
So nothing's really uncomfortable about it when you think about it, because you're all there for the same thing. And also, I do get, like, some people, I shouldn't say are as comfortable to just go up and, like, speak to someone, but have you ever been rejected of a friend? Have you, or just like a casual, like, hey, how are you doing? Well, I'm here for this. I work for this company. What do you do? Like, there's enough small talk, I feel like, that can help get you through these networking events. I always say, I have gone to so many, I feel like I know a lot of people that are in the room with me. But that then challenges me to go meet the people that I don't know, because I do see reoccurring faces. And if you do, I guess, I don't want to say struggle or are worried about doing these events, once you make the first friend and you guys keep showing up to same events together, you now have a buddy, and then you guys can meet the third friend and the fourth friend and the fifth friend, and you can just watch it bloom into, like, hey, are you going to this? I'll be here at this time. I'll see you here. Another thing I would say is joining these boards, like Epic. I now see majority of our advisory board in a lot of these, or at a lot of these networking events. So finding boards, finding ways to just really get out in Toledo, that you can even find your, like, oh goodness, I don't want to say like passions, but they're all out there too. There's still networking events with, like, if things that align for you. Now you're with similar people. Like,
Oh, yeah.
you know what I mean? So I just, like,
And even, like, Epic, we talk about how we, like, partner with a lot of different groups, and we do focused mixers, or, meet the media, and then we get a bunch of media groups to partner. Or if you're into film, there's Film Toledo. Like you said, there's definitely always going to be something for your passion.
everyone.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's, I mean, great advice for networking specific, but we also want to hear your general advice for young professionals.
I feel like I'm going to be reiterating myself, but my advice to young professionals would be just be everywhere. Meet everyone, show up to everything, no matter your nerves, no matter, like, I promise everyone's nice. I hope, but everyone's nice. You will have a good time, you will meet people, and then you'll just watch your network blossom.
And you didn't think we'd leave without a Roman Empire. So why don't we have our lovely guest kick us off first today? Go ahead, Kelsey.
My Roman Empire is my all-time favorite movie, is Just Go With It with Jennifer Aniston.
Wow.
And I don't say I watch it probably weekly.
Those two
Genuinely?
together.
Yeah.
Those two together.
I laugh every time still. There is one scene I always think of. My favorite workouts are spin classes. And there's a scene where she says she always gets on him about taking the stairs. And then, like, the flash forward, whatever, and the son leans over and says, don't let her fool you. She takes spin classes like they're M&Ms. And I think about that every single time I go to a spin class.
I love it. No, that movie
really
is so
funny.
classic. It's such a comfort movie.
Yeah, absolutely.
Libby, you want to go next?
Yes. Okay. I've been thinking, I've done a lot of Roman empires on this podcast over our time, and I've been really trying to think, like, which historical thing, like, that I learned in history class has stuck with me in the truest sense of a Roman Empire. And I've come to the conclusion that it's trench foot. As a concept.
Wow.
It's just, I'm always thinking about it. Like, anytime that my foot gets wet, that my sock gets wet, I'm like, oh my God, trench foot. Like, it's coming for me.
If our listeners don't know about trench
So basically,
foot,
if
give them the
you're-
rundown.
Okay, in, I believe, the First World War, they're in the trenches, feet submerged in water for days at a time, and your foot is basically just kind of rotting off because it's just soaked and constricted, and it's awful. And I just think it just stayed with me in a way that I can't explain.
Yeah, that's genuinely awful.
It's like when people always say they never realized they were always scared of quicksand.
Yeah.
Just never.
Yeah. I thought that was going to be a much bigger
right?
problem than it turned out to be. Let me tell you. Walking to my office, just sucked in by quicksand. Yeah, real. Well, mine is a completely different vein from trench foot.
Yeah,
but
as it probably should be.
no, genuinely, I understand why that's your Roman Empire, though. I'm now not going to stop thinking about it either. Mine is actually regarding Ohio State Representative Haraz Gambari. Now, this is not a political statement or any sort of endorsement. It is that I was at an event with Haraz Gambari, and he spoke at the event and told this really incredible story that kind of had me a little confused in the first half, but really brought it home in such a beautiful and poignant way. So he starts talking about his service in the military and how he's been serving for over 2 decades and all of this stuff and everywhere he had been deployed. And when he was ready to retire, he was talking to his son about retiring, his son who was 8 at the time, who said to him that he couldn't retire because he would be giving up on his country, and then just kind of mic dropped that and walked out of the room. But then he keeps this story going by talking about, so he didn't retire, he kept going, he, got a promotion in his rank, and like that's wonderful. And he kept going on about his service and all this stuff, but then he brings it home at the end by saying, everybody deserves to have a higher calling that helps other people. So whether that is serving in the military, working for the Chamber of Commerce, working for a public school, working for public media, like there are so many different ways that you can find your true calling and utilize that to serve not only the individuals around you, but your community as a whole. And I just thought the way that we're living in such divisive times, and I know that that's just always the rhetoric, that it's so divisive, right? But I just thought the way that this Republican representative who was talking, he started this story by saying, there's a war in Iran, and we're like, whoa, where are you going with this? Like, what is this going to be about? But the way that he was able to kind of unite all different identities, all different ideas within this story to really focus on the fact that we all need to be centered around uplifting people in our community was just so cool. I really liked it, and it was a nice surprise ending to an otherwise wonderful meeting, so it was great.
And I was at the same meeting, and I second that.
Well, thank you. And thank you, Kelsey, for being here on our show.
This is amazing.
We want to thank Kelsey Boyer, our guest on today's show. We're your hosts and producers, Libby and Riley, and our executive producer is the amazing Chris Piper.
If you have any questions, comments, or you just want to listen again, go to wgte.org/comeup or wherever you stream your podcasts.
Bye, besties.
WGTE. Voices around us.